Lydia Walter. Why East Coast Bowhunting Podcast?
Because neither one of us wear pink camo.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look, man, I'm from Wisconsin. I listen to the East Coast Bowhunters because you don't get anything more real than these guys.
Because East Coast Bowhunting sets the standards for keeping its listeners informed on everything that matters in the hunting industry.
It's nice having somebody, local and represent the East Coast boys.
The East Coast is going to saddle up.
Number one source for slaying whitetails on the East Coast.
Well, you might see Jesus if you actually do something, it'll get you into heaven.
Why East Coast? Why not? I'm East Coast, baby. That's how we roll. Chew on that.
Come on the show, a stranger, and you feel like one of the boys when you leave.
Because I get my hunting camp anytime I want.
There's some absolute monsters roaming the East Coast, and I think it needs a little attention, so why not bring it to the East Coast Bowhunters Podcast?
Man, because East Coast is a tight-knit crew, and y'all like me. Raw, real, no bullshit.
Because you guys are hometown boys. I love you guys.
East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
This is Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bowhunter, and East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is the only hunting podcast I'll tune into.
Welcome back to the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast, where we keep it 100 and real, so you get the most out of your podcast experience. We are here at Slate Club in the Dirty, hiding in the mountains of God's heaven. I'm your boy D-Rock, here with Trev, and our savage slayer of a supporter, Shawn Polke. What's up, Shawn?
What's going on, D-Rock?
Another day in the neighborhood, neighborhood. Our boy is a member of Team Hang and Bang, and is officially an essay, as we talk about his hunting trip to Mexico, when he slays an ocellated thunder chicken during USA season. This episode is brought to you by Shebeen Brewing, the Hunter's Beer. 100 Demons, East Coast hardcore music, known worldwide. Trev's Euros, for all your Euro mount needs. Encore Targets, self-healing targets to self-heal your pockets. Meyer Trail Cameras, who's on your hit list. Outright Hunting Products, the Morph Pro is the last bow hanger you'll ever buy. Ethics Archery, it's like steroids for your arrows. Use promo code EastCoast10. Tree Thrasher, imitate the wild. Use promo code EastCoast15. Death Wish Coffee, fueled by death. Use promo code EastCoast10. East Coast 10. Nor'easter game calls. Get them in close. And get your fully custom call made today. Saddle up with Wild Edge Inc., the leader in mobile hunting. And get your perch to step up your DIY game. This show is driven by Scranton Motors and powered by Scranton Power Sports. This show is presented by Working Class Bowhunter, the voice of the Midwest, the OGs of the hunting podcasts, the brand of the hunting industry. East Coast Bowhunting Podcast is here as always for new and old hunters by sharing our experiences in the woods through playing and slaying. What's up?
What's up, guys?
What's going on? Another day in the neighborhood, like I said.
We in the hood, all right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so just to prepare all our listeners today, we're actually chilling in the dirty. We got the windows open and hearing cars drive by. You might hear my dog in the background, the fan going. It's a little warm, but feels comfortable, so just bear with us, and we're giving you the outside hood experience today. So today we're joined by Shawn Polke. In podcast land, it is the day before closing end turkey season in Connecticut, and we all went out today. Trev went out with Caddy Cowboy. Shawn and I went out towards West Connecticut. They were quiet all day. Super windy day. Couldn't make things happen. We saw a couple hens. Still couldn't. Obviously, can't take them in the spring. They better not be there in the fall, though. But we're joined by Shawn Polke, like I said, from Team Hang and Bang. And what's going on, man?
Just happy to be here, man. Enjoying the Shebeen.
Hell yeah. Which one you got there, by the way?
John Beer.
John Beer. Don't be queer and drink John Beer. Trev, which one you got?
I'm rocking the John Beer also.
Ah, Johnny B.
Yeah.
Johnny B's for me.
What's that?
Baby Seal Dance Party.
Whoa.
Talk about Fruity Loops.
Yep.
but this will send you for a loop for sure. Michelle, which one you rocking over there? Smoothie Shop, she said. Smoothie Shop. The orange one, right? The creamsicle? Yeah, that's just dope. I like that one too. So, yeah, we've been rocking and rolling, and we're just chilling here. And we're just going to talk to Shawn, and so he can let us know what he's been up to this past turkey season. And let's start from the beginning, man. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and where we can find you, Shawn.
Shawn Polke. I grew up here in Connecticut, 20 minutes from where D-Rock is, so that's how kind of connected to him, because he's in my general area where I grew up. I went to school and went down to Virginia for college. Stayed there ever since, and I'm living down there now, but still come up here and visit and go see my parents and come up here and hunt quite a bit every year. And you can find me on Instagram, just Polke, Polke 23.
Nice. You on Facebook too?
Yeah, just Shawn Polke, SHAWN, the real way.
The real Shawn Polke official. Shawn Polke official. Cool, man. So, when did you start hunting? What weapon did you start hunting with?
I started hunting with a gun. First thing I started hunting was pheasant. My dad belonged to a club that stocked pheasant, so I shot my first pheasant when I was 7. We had a bird dog, and that's just how I started out. Because here in Connecticut, you can't hunt till you're 12. But this was a private preserve club, so you were allowed to hunt earlier. So then once I was 12, well, actually before that, my dad took me up to upstate New York to a hunting preserve up there, and shot a wild boar and a ram when I was 11 with a rifle.
In upstate New York?
Yeah.
Damn. Nice.
Yeah, I think it was, I can't remember the name of the place, but it's in Homer, New York.
Homer. Like The Simpsons?
Yep, just like him.
Awesome.
And then after that, when I was 12, I got my license here and just started slaying deer in Connecticut ever since. Mostly with gun until I killed 1 or 2 when I was in high school with the bow, but I played baseball in the fall and in the spring, and I'd be playing fall ball all through the archery season, so I didn't really focus on bow until after I graduated college and got done with baseball. And then that's when I really got into the bow hunting, and I got into turkey hunting, and I got into duck hunting.
That makes sense, too, because playing ball, I grew up playing ball as well, and for you athletes out there, especially if you're doing fall ball, I mean, you yourself, you said you didn't really focus on the bow because you knew once fall ball was over, then it was gun season.
Yeah, and I always loved hunting, but when I was younger, baseball was my main focus because I knew you only have a short window of time to focus on athletics, and that was my focus. But then once that season was over, you got into the gun season, and I'd have November, December, which was pretty much the only months I didn't have baseball, and that's where I just hit the woods hard.
Nice. That's really cool. So, what brought you to the bow? Like, what intrigued you to the bow and bring you back to the dark side?
I like it because it's a more intimate setting. You need to get the animal in close. You need to practice. You need to be a better shot with a bow than with a gun. You need, anybody could pick up a gun and go out there and kill an animal. I mean, I got a handful of friends I could give a gun that have never hunted, and they'll go out there and they could kill a deer with the gun. With the bow, I like that you really got to put your work in. When starting, probably like June, July, all the way up until hunt season, I'll try and shoot every day if I can, because I want to be ready when that deer comes. But with a gun, you don't need to really put that practice in. I mean, a lot of people, they either can shoot or they can't. I mean, if you can't shoot, then if you practice more, it'll help. But if with the bow, you really got to put that work in.
Word. I definitely agree on that. And like I always say, I mean, 20 arrows a day keeps the Grim Reaper at bay. Word, Trev? Yeah. I mean, Trev, you get it in a lot, too, with shooting.
Yeah, I try to shoot close to 100 arrows a week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So about 10 a day, 10, 12 a day. I average, like I'll be doing something, I'll go out, shoot a couple arrows, come back in, go back out, shoot arrows. Or I'll have buddies that come over and they constantly want to shoot and everything like that. And So
we don't really promote this, but it's always fun to just chill, crack a couple beers, and just shoot the targets.
Yeah,
you know.
How many times have we FaceTimed? And
I know. We got our earbuds in, and we're just shooting, talking on the phone. You're in Coventry, and I'm in the dirty. That's
like,
cool.
Oh, I shot the block when we were doing the trad bows.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude. We were there for like an hour, just shooting the shit, literally. So that's cool. So what did bring you back to the bow, though, Shawn? Because you said you were mainly a gun hunter. What brought you? I mean, aside from being intrigued by the fact of the challenge, what gave you the initial like instincts? Like, man, I got to pick up my bow.
Well, I used to watch all the Monster Buck DVDs, and a lot of those were all mainly bow hunting, and it just kind of got me hooked. I really like the fact of getting the animal in close and a greater challenge, and it just shooting a bow is fun. I mean, I can't just go in my backyard and shoot my gun for free and not worry about killing somebody.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, their arrows cost money, but once you have them, as long most part you're going to have them. You want to go shoot a gun, you got to keep buying ammo or you can go to a range, and it costs money. With the bow, once you have your stuff, you just go out there and shoot.
That is true. That's a good point you bring up, actually. So another reason why you should pick up a bow and not a gun. I mean, less ammo you're buying. You get to hang on to your ammo, so to speak, the arrows. That's actually a good perspective right there. So why don't we dive into you listening to the podcast now? What are your favorite? And please humor us. What are your favorite podcasts that you listen to? Like, what's in your podcast library right now?
Working Class Bow Hunter, East Coast Bow Hunting Podcast, Meat Eater, Wired to Hunt. Yeah, basically just nothing but hunting, but mainly y'all and Working Class Bow Hunter. I mean, those are the two. The other ones I'll pick and choose episodes I listen to, but y'all and Working Class Bow Hunter, those are the ones that I listen to religiously. It comes out. If not that day, the next day I listen to it.
That's dope. That's dope. And why? Why do you do that?
It's entertaining, man. You guys, and same thing with the Working Class guys. You're guys like me. You drink beer and you hang out and you talk about hunting, and that's the kind of shit that I enjoy. And I got friends that hunt, but not a lot of friends that are like really into hunting that I can just get together with and just hang out and talk about hunting and just drink a few beers. And you kind of get that when you listen to y'all's podcast.
That's cool, man. We appreciate the kind words, and definitely WCB does a really good job of that as well. We're all listeners here of them as well, and that's what we try to do, just bring the deer camp to your ears and just keep it relative as possible and just keep it chill, laid back. Right now we're just chilling on the couch, sipping shebeen and doing what we do best. Is
after a hunt.
Yeah, after a hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
What normal people do, but we just have microphones in front of us.
Yeah, as we serenade each other with our voices.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think normal is. I mean,
what, serenade your boy with your voice?
No. Having a drink after you go out hunting, and usually it's good to celebrate a kill, but today, unfortunately, no kill to celebrate, but that'll come another time.
Hell yeah. One more day left this year for turkey. Podcast land, it'll probably be beginning of June. Yep. So we'll probably be fishing or bow fishing, depending, because we're fixing to hit up Garrett the Modern Assassin and Nick, his boy Nick, for their bow fishing boat, the Tank, down in Maryland. So that's going to be fun.
The mothership. That's true.
Yep, that's true. So Trev, let's sidetrack a little bit and tell us about your day-to-day hunting with Caddy Cowboy.
It was a good hunt. Went into what we call the motherland, and that's where I've shot all three of my private birds this season. Met up with Caddy, let the birds drop down, and we went in there about 7. We went
Why'd you take them there? You killed them all already.
Yeah. No, there's actually a ton of birds there, and it's never been turkey hunted up until this season. And so we brought them in there, and we got all set up, and I hit the call, and there was no response. So I got real nervous. I was like, oh, fuck. This really sucks, you know? And I sat there. We sat there for probably an hour and a half, just calling, and no response. We did a big loop, and still no response. And the wind was just so darn bad. I thought I heard a gobble at one point, but I can't say if I was or if I could or I couldn't because of the wind. And,
maybe you just really wanted to hear a gobble.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. But it was just nice to spend my last day in the woods. So it was just nice to spend it with Caddy Cowboy and just be out there. And
did you guys hold hands?
We did. We skipped and held hands throughout the woods.
You go.
So
sang the Sound of Music too.
Yeah.
Do you guys wear your kilts or
no kilts? No kilts.
You didn't shave today, huh?
No.
Okay.
So it was fun, man. We had a really good time, but I wish we had birds there, but it just wasn't the case.
Word. Shawn, tell us about our experience today. Oh, well, tell the listeners, rather. I mean, obviously, I know the experience, but you know what I mean.
It was pretty uneventful. I had some high hopes for this property. I killed a Jake on this piece second day of the season this year, and was along with 4 other Jakes. And during the fall, I was seeing about 10 or 12 gobblers altogether. So I thought this was we were gonna have a good shot. I thought, and there was nothing. We didn't hear a single gobble. We saw 2 hens. One was walking out at 12, which I really don't even want to count that one because that was, I don't know, that was just kind of stumbled on it.
Yeah, that was an odd one too.
Yeah, she was just standing in that high grass, and D-Rock were walking out. He's like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, "What?" And I look, and then all of a sudden, this hen's taking off out of this high grass, starts flying down the hill. But we had that one hen come in. She was just putting, making all this noise, and was like, she was all worked up about something, but she wasn't running away from anything. But she was alarmed. Something got her going, and she was going back and forth in the woods next to the field.
Almost like she was trying to alarm the decoys that were set up.
Yeah.
Like, fellas, get the hell out of here. You need to leave. You need to leave.
Something bad's going to happen. You got to go. But
that's what it felt like anyways.
Yeah, she was making a racket for a long time, just going back and forth in the woods there. I mean, probably over 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was crazy.
But
first time I've experienced that.
I was just trying to pray we saw a beard on that thing. I was going to tell D-Rock, let her rip.
I know. I was looking, too. I was
you sure you don't see a couple little whiskers on her chest?
Dude, not even any spurs. I was like, damn it. Yeah. Nothing.
But other than that, I mean, we didn't see... Well, you said you saw one deer, right?
Yeah, it was about, what'd I say, 100 yards out?
Yeah, probably. And then...
it was in the thicket, too.
Yeah, I didn't even get to catch a peek of it, but I thought we'd just seen a coyote, a bobcat, a deer, something. But I guess 2 hens, and that was it.
I was waiting for you guys to come out with a shed or something.
Well,
you guys in them, Shawn had got some giant sheds in the first week of the season down here. So
if we would have walked around, I bet we would have found some. But we were staying committed to getting a bird on the ground, and it just didn't happen. I'm not even going to say it. I'll choke you. It's Fulton. Fuck that saying. I hate that saying. I mean, I love the experience. Don't get me wrong. It's very therapeutic, and it was cool to just chill there. Very relaxing and all, but we're not really going there to relax, you know?
Especially considering that it's the second to last day of the season. So, the tension's on. The pressure is on, you know?
Dude, I would have felt very comfortable shooting a bird at 40 yards with my other arrows. Because I brought the decaps and the Zeus.
Yep.
Depending on distance. Because in real time, last Saturday, I put down a bird with a Zeus. Because he was at 33 yards. And those decaps, I maxed out at 20.
Right.
Maxed out.
That's awesome.
And I had the camera ready to roll. I was hoping, they were going to come.
Nice-ass camera, too.
I was hoping they were going to come into those DSD decoys and just couldn't take it, and D-Rock was going to take the head right off, right on film, but it just didn't happen.
That's why we were ready.
Yeah.
We had 3 different angles.
You had it all. You had it all.
Yeah, we had a camera angle on the decoys.
Mm-hmm.
We had the camera behind the burlap, and then a camera pointing towards me
that's awesome.
for the shot. And, of course, nothing.
I didn't even know he had that camera on the ground out in front of the blind. I was getting ready to get up and get the decoys, and I see this. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Who's putting cameras out here? Nobody's supposed to be out here. I'm like, is that yours? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh shit, okay, we're good.
Very, very sneaky. Very sneaky. So, what'd you take away from that? Did you learn anything today? Is that the first time you were behind a burlap?
Yeah, I like burlap, man. That was nice and simple, lightweight, easy to set up, pick up, take down. You know, it's a lot easier than carrying a blind in. For turkeys, I like using the shotgun. I like shooting in the face. And next year, I think I might come up for a week, put one down with the shotgun, take the pressure off, and then maybe try and decap one, because I do like the idea of just chopping the head clean off.
It's definitely badass, and you just have to set that goal for yourself that you're going to do it and just stay persistent on it. And it definitely, because I'm the same as you are with the gun. Like, I love rolling turkeys. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do ever is roll turkeys with shotguns. And D-Rock was persistent on me. He's like, dude, just shoot them with the fucking bow. Would you?
Look what happened.
Yeah. I mean, true, but I stayed with it because I was like, fuck it. There were so many times that I looked at the shotgun and I'm like, I'm going to kill today because I hadn't killed, and I just brought out the bow and just made it happen. And it's that achievement is something past any type of other achievement I've ever had to do in the hunting woods is taking turkeys with the bow during spring season. Because during the fall, you're in the tree stand. If they fucking come by, they come by. You know what I'm saying? But going out and targeting them and having a bow in your hand, dude, is probably one of the most thrilling thing that I've ever done in my entire life.
And it's not easy, man.
No.
I mean, you look all over social media. How many people are taking down turkeys with a bow? Not a lot.
No, there's not.
I mean, there's plenty, but not as much as you would think.
No, you would think that there was way more, but everybody stays to that shotgun effect. You know?
Yeah.
And I was one of them.
Can't stop the flop is they're using a shotgun, not a bow.
No.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad you had a stellar season, and it's just something to be said, because the only reason I urged you to is obviously for the first obvious reason, we're East Coast bow hunting podcast,
right?
Like at least get the first one out of the way with the bow. Then if you really need to go back to the gun, but I mean it's a difficult task, man. And look how it panned out for you. It was perfect.
And I really encourage you, Shawn, to come up and do it with the bow, because like I was saying, man, it's probably the most rewarding thing.
It
is to take them with a bow in the spring season and try and chop their head off. And I tried. I missed twice with the decap, but finally doing it was cool. I mean, I did it with the Zeus. I did not decap a bird this year. So, but
yeah, the first shot you did, you missed, right, with the decap.
Yeah, I did.
And that's when right away you knocked right away and slammed him with the Zeus.
With the Zeus, yeah.
That was the first bird.
And that was the first one.
Then the other birds, you just rolled them over with the Zeus.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That thing rips them up.
Yeah, if I would do it, I want to try to decap them, though, because I think I have... Those birds are so tough shooting with the broadhead in the body. I've shot a couple during deer season from a tree stand, and both times, fuckers run off with the arrow, and I'm crawling out of my stand, running after them in the woods. They got $20 arrows sticking in their ass, and I got to get down and go after them and shoot them again. And they're tough, man. I mean, if you don't get them exactly where you need to, and I haven't got good penetration the times I've shot them. And I don't know if I hit the bone in the leg, like right where it connects, like in that hip joint or something.
Breaking the legs, yeah. Yep.
But,
which a lot of people actually aim for that. A lot of the times they'll aim low and try and break their legs so they can't run. Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Can't they still fly though?
They can still fly, but most of the time they'll burrow up underneath something, and a lot of times you'll see them in blowdowns or so on and so forth.
Yeah, I went to South Dakota, not this past November, but the November before, and we were going for deer, but I bought a turkey tag too because I wanted to get a Merriam to try and put towards getting my slam for my turkeys, and had a group of toms come in. And I shot one of them, and he ran off. And I'm out in South Dakota on like thousands of acres, and I was like, all right, well, I got to wait for a guide because I'm not I don't want to just go running after this turkey, mess up anybody else's hunt. And, you know, they have areas where they don't really want to go into and mess the deer up. So I was like, I'm going to wait until my guide comes back and, you know, we'll go after the bird together. So we kind of blood trailed it like a deer. And then we lost it. And me and my dad are walking and looking and walking and looking. And the guide, he told us that they like to get under like cedar branches and cedar trees and burrow, you know, kind of under the low limbs. He found it, and he's like, come on. He's like, I found him. He's like, you want me to just grab him and, you know, break the neck? I was like, no, that's all right. I had a rage on there. I'll just shoot him in the head. I mean, I was close. I mean, I was probably like 10 yards away, but I just busted him right in the head, and he just bled out like a stuck pig.
That's awesome.
That's one way of doing it.
I say next year we both fish a turkey.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
It is legal.
I was going to ask, what's the legalities on that, though?
As long as it's 40 pounds. 40 pounds draw weight.
Okay, but what about attaching a fucking string to them?
Well, it has to be 2 blades. So as long as we put 2 blades with something that will snag them.
So even if you
know what
ran... I mean? All right, yeah.
That's the only legality.
Yeah, we got to go to the drawing board on that one.
It says nothing about a fishing reel.
I'm down to do it, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but Chris Brackett's done it.
Why do you hate to say it?
No, I'm saying that. No, don't even get me going, bro. But anyways, no, he did it one time, and it was fucking hysterical. He was one of his
badass,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I say we bring that back.
All right, let's do it. I'm in.
Hell yeah. So let's get a little off subject a bit, and you want to talk or explain to us how the process of applying for Team Hang and Bang for a working class bow hunter?
Well, I saw that they made a post on Facebook, and they talked about it in the podcast, and, you know, like I said, I listened to them religiously, and I was like, you know what? I like these guys. They're my kind of guys, and that sounds like something I would like to be a part of. I'm not really sure what it's going to end up being, and Kurt and all those guys said they were like, you know what, we're not really sure what this is going to be, but
Austin and Ross, yeah, they're kind of like the captains of Team Hang and Bang.
Yep, and they were like, well, we're not really sure what's going to be evolve to, but it's something that we want to kind of start, and we're just going to play it by ear and see how it goes. Not sure the size of the team or whatnot, but they had put a little application out there and just kind of said, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, your hunting accomplishments, what you've done, where you've gone. Can't remember all the questions, but it's just, you know, getting to know you and what kind of hunting you're in and what you like. And I was like, you know what, I'll put in for it and give it a shot and see what happens. And, you know, they kept it pretty small. I think it's, I don't know, maybe 30 guys.
Something like that, yeah. Definitely no more than 50 at max, but I think it is somewhere around 30.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I want to say it's 30, 32, something like that, but they kept it pretty small, and, you know, they said they wanted to make it a pretty exclusive thing because they didn't want it to be like a lot of other, you know, so-called pro staffs that companies and, you know, shows or whatever that they have where, oh, you just fill something out and, yeah, sure, we'll add you to the team and, you know, here's a little discount code and go promote all of our shit for us. You know, they wanted to make it more of like a tight-knit family where everybody could talk and bounce ideas off each other and, you know, everybody kind of help each other out.
And that's pretty dope, too. And in podcast land, you had already recorded with WCB, the first Team Hang and Bang member to be recorded on a podcast. But in real life, my homie, you've already recorded with us, but it is common courtesy. He did ask you first, so that's how Team Hang and Bang, Team Bow Hunting podcasts do things. We have respect for each other. We're not competitive towards each other. We're a team, and we just do it for the greater good. And not to get mushy about it, but again, we're gonna beat the dead horse, man. It's dead. I'm beating it with a baseball bat. It's about unity, you know, and we got to keep it there. So. So how was your recording with WCB? No.
I'll tell you next week.
Yeah. I bet you it's going to be dope, though. You're going to have fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Been looking forward to this. Been looking forward to that. Hell, my wife had a meeting last night, and I was like, look, I got to get home because I'm going hunting with D-Rock and I got a podcast tomorrow. So she's taking the train up here right now.
See, that's commitment, man. That's loyal right there.
That's dedication.
Like, I told him I was going to be there. But she's cool. She was, she understood. She was one said she would drive or take the train or whatever. You get up there and so.
That's awesome. Shout out to Mrs. Polke out there. For sure. What's her first name?
Katie.
Shout out to Katie. Thank you. You could beat them up later. Blame it on me and Trev. It's mine and Trev's fault.
Oh, I'm sure she's gonna listen to this and make fun of me. Be like, why the fuck did they want you on there?
Because he's cool as shit, Katie. Believe it or not, your husband's cool as shit. That's awesome. So, let's dive right into the main reason you're here, man, and start from the very, very beginning down to the idea of going to Mexico. Bring us down memory lane for the Mexico trip.
All right. Well, I will start.
Hermano.
I'll probably start even further than where you're thinking. So I didn't shoot a turkey or even think about shooting turkeys until I think 2011. And me, my dad, my brother were going on a trip to Texas. Kind of long story short, we were supposed to go for predators and pigs. Day before we're supposed to go, basically my dad, they charge his card and he's like, what the fuck is this charge? He's like, this isn't the place we're supposed to be going. So he starts looking up the name of who charged him, realizes that this ranch changed their name and was to something else because they were getting a bad rap because they were basically taking like farm pigs and putting them out on like 300 acres, and people are coming and bitching and moaning like, this isn't a pig hunt, like these are farm animals. Like, so the day before we're supposed to go, my dad's shitting a brick and he's like, all right, there's this other ranch we had been to, so he calls them up like, look, can we come down there and hunt predators? And like, sure, but we trap for predators and pigs all year round, so you're really not gonna get much action. So we go all the way down there, didn't really get any kind of action for predators and pigs, but they're like, it's turkey season, you want to shoot a turkey? I was like, well, I've never shot turkey, but I'll give it a shot. So we go out.
This was back in 2011, you said?
Yeah.
All right.
So we go out for turkeys, and my guide's calling in these, 2 gobblers, and I was like, man, my heart is pounding hearing them gobbling coming in, and like, it's and it just got me fired up, different than any other kind of hunting, because you hear them coming so far away, and it just gets your heart pounding like crazy. And I shot my first turkey, and it ended up being a Rio, which is kind of funny because we have Easterns all over the place over here, and my first turkey was a Rio down in Texas. So after that, I was like, man, turkey hunting is pretty fucking cool. So I still had some time here in Connecticut, so I kind of got myself like outfitted like half-ass and enough turkey gear to try and get the job done. So I went out here, and I didn't get one because I think I only had, it was actually like this weekend in 2011, so it was the closing weekend, Memorial Day weekend. But I still was like, all right, this is something that I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to keep doing this. So the next year I went out, and I was able to call on a bird and kill my own, and I got pumped. So I was like, now I have my Eastern. So I've kind of had a goal where I would like, I want to try and get the slam. So my dad, he's been all over the world, killed pretty much everything your average person is going to think of hunting wise. And so he's already been down to Mexico, and he's already shot. He wasn't going specifically for the ocellated turkey, but some of the other stuff he was going for was kind of included in that area. So he shot an ocellated turkey, and believe it or not, that was his first turkey. The most fucked up, crazy, off the wall turkey was his first turkey that he's ever gotten.
That's pretty dope.
So we were at what was it? Not this past March, the March before. We were at the Dallas Safari Club Northeast chapter dinner at Mohegan Sun Casino. And my dad's buddy, they have auctions for different trips and whatnot. And my dad's buddy got this trip on an auction, like, cheap. And it was for 2 guys, so my dad wanted to go because there was still some animals that he didn't get down there on his trip, so he wanted to go back. And my dad's buddy wanted to go get his turkey, and my dad was like, well, if we could get him to add more people on at the same price, would you want to go? I was like, fuck yeah. I'm like, I'm down to go. I'm like, I'll never probably go get this ocellated turkey any other time. And you know, if I want to get the World Slam, I need it. So, long story short, my dad got it all booked, and me, my dad, one of my buddies from high school, and my dad's friend went down there, and we had it all planned to go to Mexico and shoot a pavo.
Yes, el pavo. That's awesome. So, take us play by play. I mean, this time around, you didn't take your bow, right?
No,
you cheated. Cheated on your bow.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really sure how they did it.
You were having an affair with a gun on your bow.
You could say that. It wasn't even my gun. It was it was the outfitter's gun.
Well, was it a little shady, like a little?
You just felt guilty doing it, like you just go home and just feel gross, like you need to take a shower.
Cry, kneel down in the fetal position, cry under a shower.
Just dreading going home and having to explain yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really know, like, when because they're saying the jungle in Mexico, so I'd never been in a jungle before, so I didn't know what to expect. Like, I'm thinking, like, what you see on movies, like, rainforest, like, in thick, crazy jungle shit. And it was thick, but to be honest, it wasn't anything too different than what we have around here, but it was just super, super thick. But down there, I mean, I guess if you want to go with your bow, they probably would let you, but I don't know of anybody. As far as I know, most everybody goes down there with a shotgun. And, they encourage you to just, $150 rent their shotgun for the week instead of going through the hassle of, doing the paperwork and bringing your gun in, because all you're using is, depending on what you're going for, just buckshot or birdshot, and means nothing special. It's just a 12-gauge shotgun.
Sweet, man. So what was your first target animal when you were there? When you got there? Actually, take us through what'd you do? Take a plane down there?
So we flew... Me and my dad flew from JFK in New York to Mexico City, and
Mexico City's rough.
Yeah, we didn't leave the airport.
Yeah, Mexico City's rough.
Yeah, that's you see on TV, and it was crazy, kind of flying in and just seeing how big of a city it is. And but we didn't leave the airport. We got in there. His buddy met us there, and then my buddy met us there, and we had like a 6-hour layover. So we hit some restaurant for some
margaritas.
Some food and cervezas.
Ah, there you go.
Mucho Coronas.
Nice. Is that what you said to the bartender? Muchos Coronas, please.
Sí. And so basically, we just kind of hung out, got all primed up before our next flight, and then you jump on the plane. We flew into Campeche, and that's in Yucatan Peninsula. I think it's about a 5-hour drive.
Yucatan.
Oh, my bad. Yucatan.
It's not Yucky. It's Yucatan.
And I think that's about a 5-hour drive west of Cancun.
Right.
So, it's not too far. And so we flew in there, and we took a cab to a hotel that they had already booked for us. And we just stay there that night. And then the outfitter and guides pick you up in the morning with there's a group of guys. They have 3 different camps. So they pick a bunch of people up, and it was us 4 in our camp, and then another older couple from Texas. They were in their 70s.
Damn. They were hunting too?
Yeah.
The older couple in their 70s were hunting too?
Yep.
Gotta love Texas. God bless America.
Actually, sorry, they do half the year in Texas. They're originally from Vermont, but then
damn.
So after that hunt, they were going home to Texas. They were going to pack up their shit and drive up to Vermont. They spend the summers in Vermont and the winters in, I believe, Kerrville, Texas. They said.
Wow, that's pretty interesting to go from Vermont to Texas, because you go like tree hugging hippie to like
kill anything
straight up,
you want.
Yeah, straight up cowboy slaying everything. So that's pretty dope. And then they cross the border to kill some more.
Yeah, and they were pretty cool. And then so they pick you up, they take you to camp, and that was Sunday. And you just kind of get in, get all settled in. We didn't hunt that night. You just get settled. You have a little dinner, have some drinks, kind of hang out, and they kept the cooler stocked with Modelo. As fast as they went out, they were putting them right back in. Those dudes were on top of it.
That's good beer too.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then the next day we were up at, I can't think, it was 3 or 4. It was a pretty early start the first day. And the main guy that runs the camp, he speaks really good English. And, he explains everything, how it's going to work. And he tells you, like, look, your guides, they don't speak English, but they know the important words. They know deer, turkey, and shoot. So
that is important to know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, and the guys were awesome. I wish that I brushed up on my Spanish more because it would have been more fun. But we
they're in the freezer, Trev.
We were able to communicate pretty decent as much as we needed to. But my buddy that came along with us, he knew just enough Spanish to say inappropriate shit and get the Mexican guys laughing really hard.
Do you remember anything he said?
Yeah, he thought it was funny to try and tell my guide his name was Concho. So my buddy he was gonna be a comedian. And he was gonna try telling Concho that I had a little dick. But if you know anything about Spanish, tango means I have. So yeah. He said he really messed up and said he had a small dick.
So how did he say it? Tengo un bicho pequeño?
He said Shawn Tango, whatever, small penne or whatever.
Well, he got it confused with pasta. I think Italian pasta. These guys are like, this gringo is saying he has small Italian pasta. I don't understand what he wants, Jose.
Yeah, he thought he was hysterical, but he knew pavo was turkey in Spanish, and he knew muerte was, I don't know, something with death. I'm not exactly dead.
Yeah.
So all week he just going to Concho, and his guy was Josue, and he's like Josue, pavo muerte. All week, pavo muerte. And they were just laughing like, these gringos are fucking retarded.
So what? Chubby. So what was your first target animal?
Well, I was going for turkey mainly. Like, if I got anything else, it was just bonus. But I was going specifically for the turkey. But from everything I was saying, like, they said that turkey should be no problem. You'll get your turkey within 3 days tops. And then anything else you want after that, then we'll go from there. So the first morning, we drove in, me, my guide, my buddy, and his guide. And then we kind of split up, and I don't even know how many thousands of acres we're hunting. And you're driving in these, we were in a little Jeep, like doors off, windshield folded down. This thing was probably 30 years old. And these roads, you're bouncing around, like your insides are just going to just rattling your brain. And these roads are so rocky and bumpy. And you're riding in there for like 45 minutes to an hour. And then we split up, and we did a lot of walking that morning. But the cool thing is when you're going to sit and not walk or try to stalk up on anything, instead of sitting on the ground or on a chair or a pad, you will never guess what these dudes pull out. They pull out a fucking hammock, and they attach it in between two trees, and you just sit there, kick back, lay in your hammock, and then he sets his up, and you just chill out.
Come on.
Really?
I swear to God.
That's dope. That is dope. I like that.
Yeah, I was like, this is pretty fucking genius. Like, just these little hammocks that they throw in their backpack, and they find a couple trees that are close together, and they just tie them off and just hang out. It was pretty cool. I mean,
that's awesome.
I would do it again. I was like, you know what? That's something I would take from that hunt. That was a pretty sweet way to do it.
Hell yeah. Now, did you need to get any special licenses or anything like that, or go through any specific procedures to go hunting in Mexico?
You do need a license, I believe, but the outfitter takes care of that for you. Most every time, if you're going out of the country, on any of these trips, or even within the country, most times the outfitter will take care of that, and if they don't, they will tell you exactly what it is you need to do.
Do you want to shout out this outfitter at all?
Sure. It was Ballam, B-A-L-M, B-A-L-A-M, Mexico. I gotta look at the sign. I think it was Ballam Mexico Hunts in Campeche, Mexico.
Nice.
And it was awesome. I mean, I would definitely recommend them, without a doubt, and I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Were there any like sketchy moments like that you encountered? Like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
No, I mean,
everything was pretty chill.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. A lot of people ahead of time are like, "Oh my God, you're going to Mexico? Mexico is fucking dangerous. Like, there's cartel, this and that." But where we were, there's no cartel. It's more. They said it was more in the west, kind of up towards Texas, west of where they were, and they said everything is super, super safe. And, they were like, you could leave your wallets and your passports in your bag. Like, these guys aren't going to mess with nothing. Like, they're not going anywhere. They're, everything was great. The people were awesome. We flew in to Campeche, and the city of Campeche was really, really nice. So they have this really big, it's an old fort from some war back in the day. And they got these big walls, and then inside it's kind of like a historical area now, and the streets are all cobblestone, and all the buildings are painted like crazy bright pastel colors, and it was super clean. It was really nice. And there's this one street you go to, and nobody drives down it, and there's all these restaurants. They just got tables set up in the middle of the street. You go out there and eat and get drinks, and it was really cool. I mean, there wasn't anything dangerous about it.
That's pretty cool, man.
I got a question about the turkeys. Like, when you're hunting the turkeys, like, are you calling at them, or do they like? Are you like a deer hunting, like, know where they're coming and going?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's Mexico, so it's kind of wild, wild west, depending on how you want to do it. Like,
they dancing around the sombrero, be like, "Pollo, pollo, pollo, pavo, pavo, pavo."
Some people are probably going to hear this and be like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking loser," but we were driving down the road, and we saw one run across the road, and the guy's like, "Pavo, shoot." So he stopped the Jeep, and I shot mine from the Jeep, because down there, like, there's no... You could do it, like, however you want. Like, some people, they roosted the night before.
You could do it behind your back, or, like, through your legs and stuff like that?
If you want, man. Whatever floats your boat down there.
That's
pretty
awesome.
much. Like,
do they gobble?
They do, but it sounds...
Hey, El Chapo, look at this. Between my legs.
It sounds really weird. It's nothing like our gobbles here.
Right.
I could play a recording for you later, and we did call one in. Cause
it's almost like a song. Like they're
singing.
singing.
It's weird. Like, you kind of hear this, like, crazy vibration before, and then it's like a really weak gobble. But, I mean, they were gobbling... I heard them 1 or 2 days off the roost, but then at night they would gobble on the roost. So, like, I'd already got mine, and we heard one gobbling, so we roosted it for somebody else for the next day, and for the older woman. And, down there, like, basically, if you have one roosted, they'll go, like, first thing in the morning. It's like, as soon as it gets light, and you could pull the trigger, boom, fucking shot it right out of the tree. Like, she shot hers, she was all worried because she shot it, and said it was just... freaking corkscrewing down, hitting like every branch, and like it lost a bunch of feathers. So like the guide is like, he's scrambling around, picking all the feathers up, stuffing them in the bag, so that way, like, your taxidermist could fix it if you need to. But some people would sit over water holes. They have water holes for different animals, and the turkeys will come into the water holes. Some people will just walk around stalking. I mean, it's not like here where you set up with decoys and you just call and, they respond and come in.
Right. That's badass.
Yeah.
It's just a different style of hunting.
It's a different, it's a completely different bird, and it's a completely different style of hunting. And
you said like, oh, people think you're an idiot or whatever. No, that's the way of hunting down there. And different countries do different things. Like, we're just accustomed to our style of hunting.
Exactly. Like, I'm not going to go and tell the guys that do this for a living how to do it. And if they say that's the way that they do it, look, he told me to shoot. I pulled the trigger. I mean, I was happy to get my bird. I'm going to do what they tell me. I mean, I knew it was different than here, and I mean, personally, I was just happy to get the bird.
Of course.
I mean, people could think that's, kind of shitty you shot it out of a truck, but, people go to Africa and do that, and Texas and do that. I mean, it's
it's that style
when in
of
Rome,
hunting.
right?
Yeah, exactly. It's what
a new style run and gun.
Yeah.
Know how I would do it if I was down there. I like, yo, Jose, go grab the bicho. And then he brings back the whip, and then it's like a drive-by. All right, speed up, so they don't see us. Shoot.
Reload.
All right, go.
But that's awesome. So
that is pretty crazy, though, that you could go in that manner and just drive around and pop them off.
And
did you feel gangster?
That's where the Mexicans get it from.
Honestly, it just happened so fast that I didn't even think twice. The guy stopped it. He's like, Pavo, shoot. I was like, I knew Pavo, and he said shoot, so I was all right, fuck
it. Did you start wearing your hat a little crooked after that, too?
A little bit.
Did they show you gang signs?
No, they didn't show the gang signs. I'm not
MS-13 like Mexico, MS-13.
They forgot to tell me that part.
I'll teach you later.
That must have been lost in translation.
I'll teach you later. No problem. So what was the next animal you took down, actually?
Well, actually, that wasn't my first one. That was what I was going for first.
Oh, okay.
But the first morning, I didn't shoot anything. We saw a couple. We jumped one turkey from roost. We saw another type of bird that they have down there called a greater curassow, but no shot. And then so then we went out. So you'd hunt in the mornings. Well, they wake you up really early. You kind of have like a small breakfast. They got a little cereal, fresh fruit, coffee, juice. You eat a little something, and then you go out and you hunt. And then you come back about 11. And then they got chefs there, 2 chefs that are unbelievable. The food was ridiculous. Like 10, if I had to rate it. These guys are chefs in Cancun at restaurants 6 months out of the year, and then they come to camp and cook the other half of the year. So then you eat, and then you go back out in the afternoon. And so we were out in the afternoon. We were driving to where we were going to go hunt. And the first animal I shot it's called a coati, C-O-A-T-I, or coatimundi. And it's the best way for me to describe it. It's kind of like a cross between an anteater and a raccoon. Like, it kind of has that like pointy anteater nose, but it's a furry animal. It's got a long furry tail it's kind of got rings on it. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool. And I mean, I'd never even heard of it till I was going to go on this trip, but I was like, it looks pretty freaking cool. I'm like, I'll shoot it. So, because the hunt, you got 3 animals included with the package. So I knew I wanted the turkey, and then the other stuff was kind of, was undecided. And then if you want to shoot more shit, you shoot more shit, but you pay the trophy fee, whatever it is for the animal that you want to shoot. So that was the first thing I shot. We were driving, we saw it rain off, so we kind of stopped and we went and stalked it. And he was, ran a little ways, and I shot him with a shotgun, and we got that. Then we're going down the road, see the turkey, shoot the turkey. So then it's first night, and I got 2 animals. Then we get out of the truck and we're walking. We're gonna go check a water hole, and there's this little bird runs across. He's like, shoot! It's like, all right, this fucking guy keeps telling me to shoot. I'm gonna pull the trigger. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that thing is, but he said to shoot it.
He's gonna see his ex-wife like, shoot! Oh man!
So this little gray bird runs out, and it's called a tinamou, they said, and so I shot it, and I was like, fuck it. I mean, I like shooting shit, so I'll shoot it. It tasted really good. So I shot that. And
what about that coati?
That was really good too. Honestly, everything that we tried there, food-wise, like animal-wise, was really good. The only thing, I don't know, I'll say that that's a whole nother story in itself. But the only thing that didn't taste good, we can get to that later. But so I got 3 animals first evening, and just knocking them down. And then, well, I shot 4 animals. My 4th animal was a collared peccary. So it's basically a javelina, but it has, in the fur, it looks like it has a white collar around its neck.
Oh, okay.
And that was really good too. Everything tasted really good.
And you're getting all these mounted for the trophy room?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my dad told my wife, she's like, you better start moving shit off the walls, moving furniture, because you're going to need some fucking room.
Yeah, because your dad's trophy room is pretty filled.
Yeah, I still got shit at his house I got to get out of there. But, yeah, but my wife understands.
It's like Museum of Polk. It really is, man.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
She's cool, though. She knew what she was getting into beforehand. She saw my dad's room. She was probably like, oh, fuck, that's what I'm going to have in my house. Well, not to that extent, but, you know, the average Joe edition.
There could be worse things to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, that's my hobby. That's
your
only
addiction.
Thing. Yeah. You know, I'm not out doing anything stupid. I'm not spending it on...
Just going out shooting random animals and... ex-wives and shit.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong
Mexico.
with that? Yeah.
Shoot. Like, oye, Jose, we need to get this guy over again.
I say shoot, he pulls trigger. I like him.
I could just picture them. All right, we're going to travel to the city now. Okay, you see that guy? Shoot. He owed me like 10 pesos. He never paid me. Good job, though. Good job. So tell us about that one meal that you explained to me that they built up the coal. They dug the pit first. So, that was pretty cool. I want to hear that story.
So we had a whole bunch of meat because, you know, everybody in camp is shooting all kinds of shit. So we had a bunch of animals. I had that peccary. Another guy shot this little deer. It's called a gray brocket deer. They have gray brocket deer and red brocket deer, but he got in gray, which is like a little 40-pound deer. It's like miniature looking. It's got little spike antlers. So they wanted to do a traditional, because that's where the Mayans are from, that area, and they wanted to do a traditional Mayan dinner for us. So what they do is they dig a pit in the ground and they build up a big fire with all these logs and sticks, and then they take this I think it's sandstone, like these white stones, and they pile it on top of the fire. So as the fire's burning and burns down, these stones get, you know, crazy hot, and they burn all the fire down to coals, and then they take all the meat and, you know, they spread the rocks out in the pit, and they take all the meat and they put it in the pit on top of the rocks, and then they'll take banana leaves, cover all the meat, and then they take all these branches that they, you know, fresh cut branches off these trees with leaves, and they pile a whole bunch of them on top of the banana leaves
to act more or less like a smoker type.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not exactly sure. I think, you know, the banana leaves give it some kind of flavor. I think the branches do, you know, something with the flavor. So they'll pile all that on like really, really heavy. And they take these sheets of tin, like tin roofing, like corrugated roofing, cover the hole, and then they take dirt and cover that, and they pile it on there until you don't see any more smoke coming out of the hole. And then you just let it sit for, you know, cook for a couple hours. So they did that in the afternoon, and we went out and hunted that night. We got back, and then they take everything out of there, and they took all the meat out, and they, you know, they made a bunch of tacos and all that kind of stuff, and the meat was phenomenal. The only thing that was, I mean, they took the heart, the kidney, I don't know.
Liver, probably.
I think the liver. I've never even heard of anybody eating this shit, but they had an esophagus in there. And they took all this meat. Like, I thought this was for
gizzards and shit.
Yeah, I thought this was for the guides. I didn't know that we were going to try it too. But when they're cutting it up, it actually looked good in the bowl. Aside from the chunks of esophagus, looked pretty fucking nasty. But they have it in there with like jalapenos and spices and all kinds of stuff, all chopped up. And then when I walked up, it looked like the dude was holding a dirty washcloth. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It was the stomach from the deer, but it was turned inside out. So, like, the inside lining is all, like, funky looking. Mm-hmm. And then they turn it the other way around, and they stuffed all that shit in the stomach, tied it up, and they threw it in the pit and cooked it. So I thought the guys were eating that because they were all jacked about that, like the guides. So I get up, and, you know, the chefs have a big table all set up with all the meat, and they're like, yeah, this is, you know, we got all this stuff. I'm like, sure, I'll take one of everything. I knew that there was the peccary, the javelina. I knew there was the little deer. There was that the Cody, and there was something else I didn't know what it was. I didn't really ask. It all looked good. I was like, yeah, I'll take one taco of everything. So they make it all up for you. And I eat the first one, and I get the next one. And I was like the fourth one in line. And my dad's buddy and my buddy look at me, and they're like, how's that one taste? And I'm like, chewing the first bite.
The gut bag one?
Well, I didn't know it was the gut bag one at the time. And I'm chewing it up, and I'm like, it tastes really fucking strong. Like, gamey as hell. And I'm like, it's like, that's the gut one. And it's like, you know, you ever smell something and you imagine what it's going to taste like? Like, you know the smell of a gut shot deer?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it tasted like.
So it's what would they call that though? It's tripe, right? Would it be stomach liner? Tripe is what they call it.
I know my dad.
American, right?
Yeah, it's something.
Well, that's for cows and beef, but I forgot what it's called though. There is a thing because I think even Ranella had a special on something like that, or not. Maybe not Ranella, but one of his buddies there did something similar. That they put everything in a gut bag and kind of smoked the shit out of it and. Oh, no, I stand corrected. It's The Wild Game Chef.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't seen that show, I approve it. D-Rock approved. Wild Game Chef. Well, I think it's on Netflix.
With Shawn telling all of this and all the things that go on in Mexico, it's really painting a huge picture of why D-Rock is D-Rock.
Yeah. You see
and
why
all the shit
everything?
He eats? Yeah, exactly. Like, he's telling the story, and I'm like, oh, that's like the pickled fucking purge. That's this. All right, it's making sense now.
Yeah, man. Utilize everything.
Yeah. I love it.
So all day, my dad, he's watching them make all this stuff up, and he's like, man, that looks really good. And he's like, I'll try that if they bring it out. So all of us go, and I eat mine, and like, they all took a bite, and they're like, oh, fuck, no, I'm done. And I was like, it's a little taco. Just muscle through it. Just finish it. Just be a man. And I finished the taco. It was rough, but it was, it wasn't horrendous. I would never order it and go back for it, but it was, I muscled through it.
How were your farts the next day? Stinky? little bit stinky?
The little gutty. And then, so then my dad, he's like, I'm like, so are you going to go... what's that?
I puked a little in my mouth. Just
I thought you said it tickled your mouth.
No.
So then my dad goes up, and I'm like, where's yours? I'm like, I didn't get none. I was like, you've been talking all day. You're going to try this shit. He's like, no, fuck that. Everybody says it was gross. I'm like, don't be a pussy. Go and get it. You talked all day that you were going to try that if it came out. He's like, well, fuck that. 5 people go before me and tell me it tastes like shit. I'm going to trust them that it tastes like shit. I'm not going to try it.
So he didn't end up trying it?
No.
What a punk. I love his room, his man cave, but that's punk move.
I know. I was disappointed. I made sure that he heard it.
I didn't mean it. Don't come shoot me and mount me on your wall. I don't think he has a Mexican on his wall yet. He has everything else though.
He does not have Mexican.
Yeah,
you can be the first long-haired hippie Mexican.
Long-haired hippie Mexican. As long as he keeps the gold chain and shoulder mounts me, I'll accept it. It'd be pretty dope. I don't know if taxidermists can conquer that one.
It'll go with his ocellated turkey.
Yeah, there you go.
Or his oscillate. Well, never mind.
There's worse ways to go.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy. So, what do you actually? How was the room and board there?
It was
because you said you went to a hotel and they picked you up, but then they bring you to camp, right?
Camp was nice. There's no power, which we knew going in, and that's not a big deal. They had generators at night that ran lights, but you're in kind of it's a building. It has a concrete floor where you stay, and they have beds and with mattresses and stuff. But you did have a shower and a toilet with
they had running water, or was it
gravity fed from a tank.
You didn't drink the water.
Fuck no.
Come on. Come on, you gotta at least try it.
But you have a roof and it's hot as fuck. Like you wake up in the morning,
it's fucking Mexico.
You're drenched in sweat. Like you from the night, like your shirt is soaked, your pants or whatever you're wearing, everything. So you slept on top of.
It's really the little Mexican fairies that spit on you as you sleep. Fucking gringo.
You woke up hot as hell, sweating every day. Then you go out and you hunt, and if you're moving, you're sweating all day. If you're sitting in the jungle, like it's so thick that you're in the shade and there's a little bit of breeze, and if you're not moving, it's not bad. It's it's okay. Then you go back during the day, in the area of camp is all cleared out, so the sun is just beating down on these little huts, kind of like they were all like
all stone or clay. I would
yeah,
imagine.
they were. And you had
That's
you
the
had
only thing that would
walls.
like repel the heat.
And then you had a roof made out of some kind of like palm frond type shit, and then they had like plastic over top in case it rained, it wouldn't seep through. And there would be a breeze, but the windows in the huts were above where you were laying, so you didn't get any air circulation. So you just sweat bullets all day.
Fuck.
But you had a shower, you had a toilet. This is a good story. So the first day that we hunted, I'm laying down just trying to take a nap. It was early morning, and you have a good couple hours in between your morning hunt and your afternoon hunt. So I'm laying there, and all of a sudden my buddy, he was going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden he's like, Sean, give me a fucking shoe, get me a boot, I need something.
Cucaracha?
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, fucking cockroach.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry.
And they're big.
Sorry. You said cucaracha. You got me.
Yeah.
It was a scorpion, not a
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, I grab a boot. I go in. He's got his
Those are actually really good.
Really?
Yeah, you could roast them.
Well,
Did you get what I was getting at by him eating everything? Did you see this? You see what I deal with?
So I go in there. He was sitting down taking a shit. He's got his pants around his ankles. He's standing up, and he grabs the boot, and he's swatting, trying to kill this scorpion. Like, he was stationed in San Antonio for a couple years, so he dealt with scorpions, and he's done with that. He's not fucking with them anymore. But the accommodations were good. I mean, considering where you're at, it was really good.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Food was amazing, and these guys were cooking meals for 6 hunters and all the guides, so probably 15 people in camp. And basically they had two like a turkey fryer,
yep.
like 2 burners like that, and these guys cooked up 5-star meals off of that. I couldn't imagine what these dudes do in a real kitchen. It was ridiculous.
That's dope, man.
And you never were hungry?
No. Oh my God. You come back. So you got back in the morning.
See, I can't eat much when it's that hot out, though. That's just me.
The food was so good, it didn't matter.
Enough Coronas and you could eat enough.
Oh, they had Corona, too?
No, they just had Modelo.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
You come back in the morning, they cook a breakfast. And then you hang out and, relax, do whatever you're going to do. Then they make you a little snack around like 3:30 before you go out hunting. Then you come back at dark, which was like 9. By the time you got back driving to camp, it might be 10, 9 o'clock. You eat 5-star meals. Unbelievable. Kept the coolers full of beer. After every hunt, morning or afternoon, my guy Concha looks at me, he's like, cerveza? I was like, see. He always had a beer in the cooler waiting for me when I got done. He was on top of it.
That's dope. Damn,
he loves you because every time he said to pull the trigger, fucking pull the trigger.
Shoot.
Yeah. Always had a beer.
See, boom.
Yeah.
Then they actually had some like old Mayan ruins like in the area that we were hunting, and my buddy he went.
Dude, some of those you gotta be careful. Some of them, like, I'm a spiritual person, and some of those, they got some bad energy, man.
Well, I'll get to that. So my buddy goes over there. His guy took him, and they kind of, they went and checked it out. And it doesn't look like much. It just looks like a pile of rocks, like in the form of like a temple. Like these ones weren't, at least at this point, just they were kind of rocks piled up. But it was still kind of cool knowing that was Mayan ruins. And his guide, like, kind of climbs in this little freaking area and starts, reaching. He pulled some kind of freaking, I don't know if it was pottery that was like on the wall, like tile, or a piece of pottery that he found in there, but gave it to my buddy. And he pulls it out, like, it's like Mayan, some kind of Mayan artifact. So my buddy, he had to leave a day earlier than us because he's a doctor in the Air Force, and they had the, I guess it was like 2 weeks ago, they had Andrews Air Force base, they had the air show. So he's like the head of medical, and Trump was coming in for it. So he had to be like, he's running this for, the whole medical facility for thousands of people, plus Trump's there, and, you got to be completely on top of everything. So he had to get back for work. And he's like, man, you want that pottery? He's like, I'm not flying on the plane with that fucking shit. He's like, I don't want any bad juju. I'm like, you can have it if you want it. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. So then we're flying home. Every bit of turbulence we hit, I'm like, oh shit, the pottery is going to get my ass. I'm like, please, Mayans, please don't do this to me.
So you still have it then?
I got it at the house.
Oh my god, no wonder we didn't see shit today. You didn't tell me this before we went out turkey hunting.
Well,
what
I thought,
the fuck?
You're Mexican. I thought we'd be alright though.
Yeah.
I thought that would cancel out.
I'm not Mayan though, I'm Aztec.
Oh shit. I came home, my wife was like, you brought that shit home? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh my god, I need to freaking sage the house.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's funny. So aside from pottery, what do you take away from that hunt?
Man, the people were amazing. The food was as good as the hunting, and the hunting was awesome. I'd go back in a heartbeat. I mean, I was going for the brocket deer. I didn't get one. My dad went for one. He didn't get one. You know, they were tough to get. But there's other things that I would have shot there, and it was just a good experience in general. I mean, I probably won't go back just because there's other things that I want to do.
You said they'll let you bow hunt too, though?
I didn't ask, but I would assume
I'm
so.
sure they would.
I don't see why not.
They're letting you shoot out of a moving car.
I was going to say.
I mean, you could probably hunt with freaking dynamite if you want there.
I don't think that really matters, right?
No, I think it's
shoot.
Shoot. Throw the M80.
As long as there's a season there. Oh, so my dad, he was sitting over a water hole 2 nights in a row and saw 2 jaguars.
Oh, really?
But you can't hunt those.
No, you can't shoot them. He said they were massive, and he said they were the biggest cats he's ever seen aside from his lion that he shot. And he's got a leopard. He's gone for mountain
and a
lion.
lioness too. He's got
and he said it was huge. He said it was the coolest thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty freaking. I mean, I wish I had seen them, but you know, he said they just all of a sudden they come in so silent and they just sneak up and they're just sitting there lapping up water like a cat. And he said it's like a damn jaguar 25 yards away from him.
Jesus.
Did you take any pictures of it or anything?
He said it was just all happened so quick and it was so close that he couldn't even get his camera out.
I wouldn't want to fuck that up and them see you or something.
Oh, yeah, and rip you a new asshole.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Felines are not something to mess around with.
Hell no.
People don't understand it, but felines are no joke.
Especially something
that big. I can't wait till
big.
we can hunt bobcat again.
Well,
in Connecticut.
I don't think we'll be able to hunt them. I think we'll have a trapping season. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Because Massachusetts, you can hunt them.
Yeah. And
Shabine.
And
I've been waiting to do that.
Yeah. You just popped your Shabine podcast cherry. Was it good for you? It was good for me.
Very good. Ooh, smoothie shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, probably. Yeah, these cans. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's the creamsicle.
That's a creamsicle one. I was drinking it. I'm like, I took about 100 sips and I still couldn't figure out what beer it was.
That's supposed to be your favorite one, I thought.
No, the pink one. The other smoothie shop, not the orangical one.
But
it was a good trip though, man. I mean, that was my first. Like I've been a bunch of different places in the United States hunting different things, and I've been to Canada twice, but. I mean, going to Canada is almost like being in the United States. There's not like a cultural difference really. Like other than I've been to, where was it? Not Newfoundland, New Brunswick.
Yep.
And you know,
in Canada, you can hunt moose, and there's not really a big restriction though, as far as antlers, right?
I think it depends on where you go. Like that one we were talking earlier, that one my dad shot, that was Newfoundland. Sorry.
Is that East Canada?
Yeah. So that's up the East Coast. That's East Coast boat.
East Coast. Yes. I'm going to hit them up.
East Coast Canada.
Hell yeah.
So it was my first trip going somewhere out of the country, like where you really got to experience the culture as far as on a hunting trip. I mean, I've gone on a few vacations and whatnot, and my dad, he's been all over the place. I mean, everywhere. But it was cool. You know, because he always has these stories about, you know, the people and the culture and the food and the different experiences that you get. And this was my first trip where I really got that kind of experience, and it was pretty cool.
That's pretty dope, man.
I couldn't even imagine some of the the stories that you're telling and stuff. It's totally different than anything that we do here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything, and I'm been very lucky that my dad is, my dad takes me on these trips. Like, I don't make the kind of money that I could afford these trips. I'm just lucky that my dad does, and he, is willing to take me on these trips. So when he asked me if I want to go somewhere on a hunt, I'm like, fuck yeah. If we could go kill something, I'm down. Yeah. You don't have to ask me, just tell me where and when.
Yeah. Especially good food.
Oh my God. I love to eat, and that was just a plus.
As long as you don't drink the water.
Yeah, well,
Mexican water.
We were going
dirty water. Wow. No wonder I ended up here in the dirty. I like the dirty water. What do we got there, Shawn?
Is that ninja tip of the day?
It is.
Ooh.
Just the tip. Ninja tip of the day. What you got for our listeners?
So we were kind of talking about, these are nothing crazy. I don't have anything special for you guys, but these are two things that I like to pick up on, and we're going to keep it. I guess it could be applied to your out of state or out of country hunts, but one, when you go out in the woods, carry teepee.
Carry a teepee? Like Indian teepee or?
Toilet paper teepee.
Oh, okay.
I learned, had to rip off too many pairs of underwear, lost too many undershirts. Now, I keep teepee on me at all times. I was in Alaska hunting, and I had to cut my boxers off. My balls were chafing like a mother after that. I got no drawers on. I'm shitting on the side of a mountain, having to cut my underwear off. I carry teepee everywhere I go now.
That's a good ninja tip.
Huge
ninja tip. Because if not, you end up like Trev, and you end up sleeveless.
One sleeve.
Yeah. Sleeves. You lose the sleeves. If you have big socks, like one of my buddies, every year for Christmas, his mom gets him, and he got a twin brother, and she'll get them pajama pants, like fleece pajama pants, and they always wear them under their shit when they go hunting. And he says by the end of hunting season, they're always shorts, and he always needs new ones next year.
I used to cut half circles out of my stomach.
so your belly pops out?
Yeah, exactly.
To show off your tat.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
So you're a true Wild Edge Inc. supporter. What's their tattoo on your stomach?
Say settle up.
Oh, see, it was destined. It was destined to be. That is cool. That's dope as fuck. Yo, how do you think your podcast? I mean, right now in podcast land, you already recorded with WCB, but how do you think in real time right now? How do you think your podcast episode's going to go with WCB, with Kurt and the boys?
I think it's going to go good, man. I mean, they seem like they're just easy, down to earth guys to talk to. I talked to Kurt the other day. He gave me a call and asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, "You really asking me?" I was like, "Fuck, absolutely."
Fucking tell me, bitch. Choke me and tell me you want me to.
So, I mean, those guys, they seem like they're just normal dudes. I mean, it's cool because I've listened to them for a couple years now, and it was kind of weird talking to him on the phone because normally I'm just listening on the headphones, hearing them talk, and we were talking on the phone. It was kind of like,
did he make it move a little, like his voice, the vibrations of his voice?
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay. For me, it was like that the first time.
You're gonna have a really good time. Like we spent deer camp, quotation marks, in Iowa with them in the same Airbnb, and it was just like being with your high school buddies, man. You're gonna have a really good fucking time.
It was like the most controlled craziness I've ever experienced.
And I say this, and I'll say I've said this, and I'll say this again: is all of us savage fucking killers were in the same exact room for 4 days
with a ton of beer, mind you.
With a ton of beer, there was no fist fights, and there was no talking of killing animals,
and no arguing either.
No talking of killing animals?
No,
not even a debate.
No,
not even a debate.
We were just drinking beer and just having a really good time.
The only person that got mad that one time was me, because you and Steve were fucking with me. Playing shit I didn't want to hear on the fucking radio. So, as I'm cooking meals for you guys.
So what I did was I had my Bluetooth speaker and I put it up on top of the fridge where everyone was all congregating around the kitchen, and it had like an open living room.
And I was cooking up a storm.
Me and Steve were just downstairs telling jokes, talking, bullshitting. I'm like, yo, you want to fuck with them? They're like, yeah. So I just started putting on fucking crazy ass music, and I also put on something else that D-Rock got really fucking mad at, and everyone, I can just hear him upstairs. They're like, "What the fuck?" And then D-Rock, all I hear is, "Oh," and I hear them scream, and then I see on my phone disconnected from Bluetooth. I'm like, motherfucker! But that was the only.
I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, where's Steve? I thought it was Steve at first.
No.
I'm like, Steve and Trevor are missing. Where are they? Found these guys holding hands down in the basement, playing spin the bottles. Like, what are you guys doing? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, it was a good time, but you'll have a great time podcasting with them, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be nice if they were closer and be able to go in there in the studio, but 15 hours is a little long for, like an hour chat.
Speaking of, are you going to the shoot?
Me and D-Rock were talking about it today. It's a possibility.
Awesome, man.
He's probably going to hitch a ride with us.
Yeah, that's what I think we had talked about that prior, too. I think we all should just dig it together.
I think
it'd be cheaper for all of us, gas-wise.
Hell
and we got the OG going with us.
It sounds like it'd be an awesome time. Last year looked so fun, and it was just so painful to just see pictures and look and see how fun it looked and just be sitting at home.
And it's my birthday weekend.
I know. You're fucked. You're fucked because I'm going to get you so drunk. I want to see you puke for the first time. Yeah, but I've never seen you puke.
Yeah, all right.
I want to get you to the point you're like
white in
the face.
Do I got to find some Southern moonshine to bring?
Oh.
No. Well, yeah. Definitely, yeah. But I think what Trev might puke on is I'm just going to keep on feeding him Jameson while it's still hot outside.
I'm going to puke thinking about it.
Yeah. No, I won't do that, Michelle.
Michelle doesn't care. I'll be 18 hours away.
I feel her. Yeah. You're right. And you're like, go ahead. You'll have to take care of him.
Yep.
Shawn Polke, what's that? What segment did you make it to?
What, Rattles your Antlers?
Yes, sir.
He's on top of his game.
I'm 2 for 2.
You must listen to this podcast from
a couple times. When I got nothing better to do.
This is easy when you already know what's going on.
Exactly.
I like it. So, Shawn Polke, what rattles your antlers, man?
Man, this one has been said, but I'm just going to reiterate it because I don't want to make up and come up with something that just because somebody else has said it, but people putting other hunters down. That one drives me crazy. Like, you see it all over social media. I know you talk about it a lot. The Connecticut hunting page, I know you guys are all on there. There's so many guys on there that think they're goddamn Lee Lakowski shooting 200-inch deer, and they're shitting on these guys because they shoot a 4-pointer. And these guys are posting their pictures, and they're so proud of themselves and happy. And these guys are like, oh, that could have been a nice deer in 2 years if you let them walk. That's why we got no nice deer running around in Connecticut. It's like, dude, there is a lot of nice deer. 2, just because that's the way you hunt doesn't mean that's the way everybody's got to hunt. I don't care if people want to hunt with a crossbow. That's not my thing. But maybe someday when I'm older and I can't pull a compound back, or if I fuck my shoulder up at the gym or something, and that's my only option, yeah, I would love to shoot a crossbow. That's the only thing I could do, and it's nice that option's there. Some people are only bow hunters, and they shit on guys because they hunt with a gun. Some are, whatever. I just don't like it. Like you say, you guys always say unity. It's like all these guys hide behind their Facebook name.
The keyboard warriors, man.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? Maybe I'd respect you if you had enough balls to actually say it to somebody's face in person, but they'll just type it on a keyboard, and there's no consequence for what you say. If there was a possibility of getting your teeth knocked in, I bet you 90% of them wouldn't say that shit.
Word, yeah. And something to go along with that, and not much has been said on this, is that when I see that stuff, I think of it as like close buddies in deer camp busting each other's balls. Is that... sometimes that thought goes through my mind, and Caddy Cowboys we've had this conversation. Like, do you think that those guys sometimes are really serious on when they're breaking down on other people, or are they just doing it the ball busting way? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to read, and that's how I hope that's how they think.
I hope you're right, but honestly, I don't think that's
me neither. But I try to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, my dad's on that page too, and me and him are always talking. We get so angry about that shit. It's like, or if it's a little kid, or I don't care if he's 12 or if he's 52. If the guy was happy to take that deer, and he was happy enough that he wanted to take a picture and he wanted to post it in a public place for people to see it, then pat the guy in the back, or just keep your fucking mouth shut.
Right. If you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah, like I said, if you say it to his face, then more power to you. Say whatever the hell you want. But if there's a possibility of getting your teeth knocked in, they wouldn't say shit.
I've had a bunch of run-ins with people, obviously, like different shows, so on and so forth, and guys that have said things to me and so on and so forth, and they just kind of like tuck their tail and walk the other way when you see them in public, so you know that they're a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, and I've shot a lot of shit. In Connecticut, I've shot more deer than I can count. You can shoot a lot of deer here. I've shot some nice ones, and I've shot a lot of small ones, and I'm okay with that. There's times when I want to put meat in the freezer, or I just got an itchy trigger finger. I'm not Lee Lukoski. I'm not, Michael Waddell or any of these big buck killers, and I'm okay with that. I like to kill deer. Sometimes I pull the trigger because I have a good time shooting deer and eating deer. I try to let smaller deer go in hopes that they'll become bigger deer and I'll get a shot at a better one. But there's plenty of times where I'm like, you know what? Been hunting a couple weeks now and I haven't shot anything, and that fork horn is looking really good right now.
I got
and
some nice back straps.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And guess what? There's nobody. Connecticut has a lot of nice deer, but I don't see any Lee Lukoskis in Connecticut on the Outdoor Channel. Nope. I don't see any, Don and Candy Kiskis living in Connecticut on the Outdoor Channel killing Boone and Crockett deer on a regular basis. So all those keyboard warriors can shut the fuck up and keep their mouths shut, and they don't have anything nice to say. These guys, just let it go, man.
Can't agree more, man.
Hell yeah, that's why your boy posted that post on social media recently about the two. There's a monster and one with broken antlers. One's actually a little older and one's kind of young. It could have been, maybe two
and a half.
Yeah, 2.5 around there. It was a big boy, nonetheless, but same thing. It's like, I have no shame in my game.
It was a nice 6-pointer.
Yeah.
I have pictures of him on camera.
That's
I
what
know
I mean.
what deer it is.
That's what I mean.
It's awesome.
And he was
more power to you, man.
Beautiful deer. Beautiful deer. And I always give credit to people that put me on him. Like, you set me up. Hey, go here. Just look for the sign and set up on the best tree you think. That's exactly what you said. I've been seeing this deer. You're going to run into him. Same thing with that monster in Missouri. I had met a friend out there. I was out for Thanksgiving only for half the week. And the next door neighbor, we became good friends. He knew I was a bow hunter. He's like, dude, here's my bow. Go in these woods, find a tree, look at the sign, and you'll run into him. I promise. And sure enough, I did. It's crazy.
It's awesome. I've shot plenty of does and plenty of fork horns. My biggest buck is a 6-pointer, dude. I haven't shot big bucks. I just love to shoot fucking deer, man. I love to kill. That's all there is to it. I'm the
same way. My dad he's like I said, he's killed everything there is to kill around the world. And he gets mad when I pass on deer. He's like, what the fuck? We gotta put meat in the freezer. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because we like to eat it. We like backstraps. So he'd be like, I let a little 4-pointer, a little 6-pointer go. He's like, what the fuck? There's plenty of deer. Fucking shoot.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's cool, man. And we always like to end the show with a round of positivity. So let's go around the room. Trev, round of positivity.
It's great to finally meet you, Shawn, dude, and taking the time out of your day, man. I know you got a lot of busy shit while you're up here and you're visiting, and I'm a little upset I didn't get to go turkey hunting with you guys this morning, but I had some other priorities. But no, I'm just thankful for everything that. All the supporters and all the people that follow us day in and day out, and what we do and our normal fucking lives, nothing above average. But I'm so thankful for them and everything that they do for this podcast. And, honestly.
Awesome. Shawn, what you got?
Man, it was positive getting to meet you guys, hang out. I've been talking to both y'all on and off here and there for a while now, just bullshitting about hunting and, back home and, what's going on and everything, and finally actually get to meet up, hang out, and to podcast on top of it was pretty freaking cool. It's my first time doing something like this and had a really good time. It was easier than I thought, just kind of talking into a microphone, just bullshitting like it's not even there. Unfortunately, no turkey this time, but we'll get it done next year.
Awesome.
It won't be your last time podcast.
No. So my round of positivity is just this right now. Especially number one, I didn't have to drive an hour to our other studio, just the podcast, and then an hour.
Especially on a
home.
holiday weekend too.
Yeah.
So I had to drive the hour. I took the hit.
Well, you have a designated driver, so so
I'm smart.
I'm not. So and to end the round of positivity, thank you, Shabine. We're about to hit the brewery for probably one more before you have to go meet up with your wife because we don't want to take away your time with your family and stuff.
Pick her up.
Yeah, down New Haven, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe time for one and run.
The other hood.
Yeah. They pop off down there too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It'll be similar there.
Waterbury's, easy going compared to New Haven, Bridgeport.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That's where OGs move to.
Yeah. This is where we retire.
I hung up the strap, man. Got to move to Waterbury.
Yeah, we moved the strap from the front of the pants just to the back of the hip. Don't have to be as quick around in Waterbury. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on. It's been awesome. Thanks for taking me out hunting.
Oh, for sure, man.
And I'm sure it
won't be the last. It won't be the last.
Oh, I'm sure not. I'm sure it's not.
We'll have better outcomes next time, though.
So, Shawn, you know what to do. Stay stepping.
Stay slaying.
Podcast go straight to hell. Yeah. Speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
We keep it real on the East Coast. First of all, I'm addicted to the show.
I like that. That's cool. Full hunt. You live it. You breathe it.
It's a whole different world.
Just East Coast has a little bit more of an edge and a grind. It's a fantastic thing.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Well, number one is you guys like beer. I want to feel like I'm hanging with the boys.
You're the guys that showed up.
But I actually saw Jesus.
The point where it is now where it's insane.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
I just want to get the realest people possible in the industry. You just got to piss people off. You're not doing it right.
Nothing forced. All fucking natural.